the plan for today is to beat the game, so to speak. Meaning, go through Worlds 5 and 6, you know, do the final Bowser encounter, which I'm sure I'll have to play through again for the sake of a comet, probably, and stuff like that. But point being, the plan is to kind of clear Worlds 5 and 6 similarly to how I did Worlds 1 and 2 in Part 1, and Worlds 3 and 4 in Part 2. Of course, then this would primarily leave the comets and World 7, which is kind of like the special world of this game. This might have actually been... This was the 3D Mario that, like, kind of started that trend, yeah? Like, the garden in Galaxy 1 is kind of like that, in that there's no Bowser level, so it's kind of like post-game in that way. But, like, 64 and Sunshine is just, like, the levels are there, they're accessible. There's nothing that's, like, kind of relegated to after the boss, aside from the final boss, aside from, like, just going back and completing completion-oriented stuff. But here, it's like, you've got stuff to go back and clean up, and a brand new world as well. We're not quite there yet. I do know the star comet medal is somewhere on the other side, so I'm pretty sure... Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's sort of safe to just kind of fall around here. Keep an eye out for it. There it is. I almost didn't see that electric bar that I almost ran into. It's like, damn, only a few days away, and I'm already, like, tripped out a little bit by the perspective and stuff like that. Oh, that's right. Okay, so yeah. This is like a... This reminds me of the Tower of the Gods in Wind Waker. When you're, like, guiding around the statues remotely or whatever. Or, like, there's one that's, like, above you, I think, for one of the puzzles. Oh yeah, this galaxy is really cool. Because here's actually... You know how I mentioned a lot of gimmicks, or like level ideas from Galaxy 1 get introduced faster in this game? This is kind of an exception where we haven't really seen a ton of pole stars relative to Galaxy 1. Bum, bum, bum. Also, the music's amazing. What the hell? I mean, now that should be a surprise, but it's like, damn, okay. Oh shit. I'm dead. I tried to recover with the spin and not a grab. I should have grabbed a pull star. It's all good though. Good way to rack up some extra star bits. In fact, what's stopping me from just, like, dropping... Is there a difference if I drop down this other side? I guess not, right? Oh, it just sucks you in. Okay, that makes more sense then. It's like a trick of the... It's like a perspective trick going on there. So just do this the normal way then. Don't try anything fancy. It's interesting how these things, like, kind of arc. Oh, I guess they're supposed to, like, home in on you. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's why I kind of panicked towards the end here. That's a better way to do it. Like, don't even mess with the 5 that are rotating around it. Just pull yourself like kind of in that direction and then spin out. That's the money. Yeah, so I think I picked up on, like, last time that without doing comments, it seems like there's pretty much exactly 25 stars for every 2 worlds. Because I ended at 25 after the first stream, and then I ended at 50 last time, specifically doing 2 worlds minus comments. So, like, there might have been a hidden star here or there that I missed, like, maybe. But it seems kind of like a pattern. I'm curious if I'll end up at 75 doing the same thing for Worlds 5 and 6. Because we're not even halfway done, which is kind of the crazy thing. And I guess, okay, technically with green stars, you're halfway done when you get 120 stars, but I mean for, like, the main 120. And I probably will do the green stars. I'll have to get further before I determine if I'm going to do that immediately following everything else here. So this no doubt stops these or slows them down. Oh, yeah. We got a little slow time mechanic going on here. Yeah, I don't even know if we've seen, like... I don't think we've seen, like, they're called fling stars? Like, at all. I want to keep an eye out for the comet medal. Or no, wait, sorry, we're on the same galaxy. I already got the comet medal. Never mind. Oh shit. I bet it's on top of one of these slumps, probably. That's a very typical... Whoa, what was that height? That's kind of crazy, though. I know it's, like, just slow time, but I'm like... What if I didn't, though? I might be asking for death. Okay. I don't think this is the critical path. I think this is like a bonus room. Oh, there's probably a Hungry Luma then. Usually these are only in levels with Hungry Lumas, I think. Maybe? Like as a way to rack up on coins. Nice. Get a good chunk of star bits here, too. Okay. I keep thinking there's a comet medal. There's no comet medal. I'm like so out of... I know it's only been a few days, but I'm like so out of the mindset of playing this game since I'm only playing it on stream, you know? So like everything else I've been playing, I'm like a little more in the zone of... Oh, whoops. That didn't reach, really. There we go. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-da-dum. Lit. This is a fun one. This is a fun galaxy. I like this one. It is very reminiscent of Dreadnought. And I don't know that we've seen any auto-scroll stages either. Like Battle Rock in Galaxy 1 or like the purple coin ones that are auto-scrollers and stuff like that. Or I guess no, that Dreadnought level is an auto-scroller. And the purple coins have you going through the same sequence, basically. 1500, wow, okay. I think I'm all caught up on all the other Hungry Lumas, though, too. Oh, these are star barricades. Okay, that makes sense. I've been, like, so ahead of it because I've been doing everything. And usually you have to, like, clear a galaxy or, like, at least do a level of a galaxy or 2 or 3 to even get to these, but, yeah. These are all great. The only one I don't remember super clearly is the pyramid one. But these are literally all great from what I'm recalling. Let's do Boo Moon. This is like the pop-up book one. Yep, Silver Star's pop-up. There is so much Super Mario World fan service in this game specifically. It's kind of like how 3D World has a lot of Super Mario 2 USA fan service. There's a lot of like Super Mario 3. There's like Mario 3 stuff in 3D World as well, but I feel like that's more so 3D Land. And like New Soup 2, because those were both like Tanuki games. There is a hidden star here, I think. Like, I think there's an optional something or other somewhere. Or there's a Hungry Luma later. Maybe it's just a different level. You get the Fire Flower. We'll just go back to the launch star then. Yeah, I'm probably thinking of a different level here. But yeah, like these blocks, like this is Mario World, straight up. I know we've seen these before in this game, I think. But also, wait, I like hear the Comet Medal. Am I crazy? I wish I could change the camera because I'm afraid that I forgot the Comet Medal or skipped it, because I think I hear it. So I feel like I should die here. Unless... You know what, I think... Because I'm like, how would I get up there anyway? You can't climb that tree that was over there. So I'm like, is it a perspective thing to where it's going to be, like, on the underside? Yeah, okay. Okay. That makes more sense. That is a little fun. How it, like, rocks back and forth. Doesn't really matter, but yeah. So now we are at these silver stars. It's so cool, dude. There's like so many cool ideas in this game. And it's not even one of those games where it's like, oh, there's cool ideas, but blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, there's just like, it's just a lot of genuinely cool ideas. Oh, it's on a timer. Okay, I was like, do I have to activate it again? Luigi's dabbing on him right now. Take those star bits. Another one down. I'm hoping, yeah, no, it looks like we're fine. Bitrate is solid. 30 Comet Medals. Ah, so there is a hidden star in Space Storm. But I guess some of these hidden stars require you to get the letter in the first place? Maybe? Like, because like these guys in particular like don't spawn in immediately, I think. I'm sure it'll be... it'll be obvious where this guy is. He's probably not on this planet, because I'm like, what could you want me to do here? You know, like, there's no enemies to, like, lure over, or really anything. Oh, shit. There it is. Oh, shit. Let me just damage boost through, that's fine. Grab the, coin. Oh, the spin, like, totally confused this thing. There's a little bit of leeway there, thankfully. I don't think he's on... Yeah, we already did, like, a full 360 here. Oh, he wants me to bring him one of those, the top guys, I think? If he's on this planet, if I'm thinking correctly. Because this is like the end of the level. Yeah, there he is. Either that or a Bob-omb. The red guys, okay. So we can kill the yellow guys. Oh, but they respawn. Okay, I see. So in order to do this, I don't see why I can't reach those, but we have to, we have to destroy this, and then I have to be very careful. These guys are really annoying. Get this red guy over here. I take it these guys won't take damage from the green electricity unless I hit them into it, probably. Or just don't fall off. Alright. Nice. Dude's assembling a Pokemon team, basically. Dude's out here playing Shin Megami Tensei or some shit. I still think it'd be cool, considering like the lore behind a lot of the demons in SMT, if Sega allowed for some characters or creatures from their other IP to appear as demons. Like, how funny would it be for Sonic to be, for like Sonic the Hedgehog to be a demon in SMT or something? Because he's a pop culture icon, and they can do that because it's their own IP. You know, like Jack Frost is supposed to be kind of like a mascot in universe. That's like brought to life, or like, you know, it's in the public subconscious or whatever. Maybe that's more of a Persona thing. But I think that's like a general Mega 10 like lore bit. Well, I guess it depends on what you're talking about, because like for Digital Devil Saga it might just be like, well, it's like still like these demons exist. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. But that is definitely a thing, at least in certain segments of Mega 10. So that's just like extra lives. Yeah, okay. So this is gonna be like the Fire Flower one, right? I think. Nice extra star bits. Okay, that's a dead end. Just gotta check the walls, because sometimes... Pretty sure this is a dead end. That's why there's a 1-up. Let's see. That's where I came from. Remember where you came from. That's not right. I'm looking for you. I don't know why I'm leaving the cursor on the screen. Oh, okay, I was like, this looks promising. Looks like there's a crack in the middle. Here we go. Nice. You have to tap it, right? I think so. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, I guess it's just like a slow ascent. I'm kind of trying to speed along a little bit too quickly, I think. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with the... Is that supposed to be difficult? I feel like the wind wasn't even, like, pushing against me at all. Also, I know I'm playing like shit right now, but... Damn, it's so easy to fight against the wind, it's... interesting. I feel like I'm doing something wrong when it comes to, like, ascending. Obviously, I'm bonking a million times, which is not ideal, but... Like, I'm tapping A. There we go. I guess I think it's a tap. It seemed like when I held it, it didn't do anything. I feel like there's a hidden star in that level, and there probably is, but I don't remember, so I'll just have to wait and see if Luigi gets a letter. Alright, so we're like just over 500, and I need what? Is it 1500 for the Luma? Yeah. Like a third of the way there. Yeah, there is a hidden star. In the first level. I'm trying to think, like, maybe if you stay... I think the torches there, I think, are a red herring. At least I think so, but then again, I can check... What if I checked... It's not this way, damn it. Maybe it's locked off to me in this configuration, maybe? Oh, nice. Yeah. I'm like, what if you... Because wasn't there an opportunity to stay on these panels or something? At some point? Like, past the point where you can... Where you, like, typically want to hop off? Easy mush. Like, I think maybe if I stay on this past the launch star, I think that might be the answer. Shit. Oh, shit. I'm kind of bad. I'm kind of bad for that. Oh, God. Charles Martinet really put his all into that suffocating and what's it called? Clip. Voice clip. It's like, damn, Luigi, you good? Gotta be careful when you're running in circles, because it's unnecessarily risky. Okay, calm down, calm down. Yeah. Is this just straight up a star that's just like over here? Shit. So yeah, I remember this one being a little tricky because the checkpoint requires you to go through like the easy part again, which is always annoying. It's like, oh, they want you to string it together, and it's like, well, yeah, but if I'm dying at like the very end and the rest of it's a cakewalk, it's like, you know, not much that can be done though. It's like, what, are they supposed to put another checkpoint like 2 seconds away? It's like that. I've talked about it before with like, you know, limited lives and like limited checkpoints and traditional game overs and like sort of that arcade design philosophy and stuff like that. I'd give my 2 cents on that. Probably more than 2 cents, but you know, like it has a place in certain types of games for sure. But it's more so like, it's like I was saying, like the first chunk of that isn't difficult. It's easy to get impatient and mess up, but it's not because it's hard. And then you get to the actual hard part, and it can feel incredibly tedious to like have to kind of trudge through an easy part of the level just to get to the part that you were actually struggling with. But at the same time, I like understand that it doesn't always make sense to like give a checkpoint just before the hardest part, right? Like there's a balance to it. Oh, I don't want to destroy all of them. Yeah. Is this going to be another crate one? Yeah. This one I remember being kind of tricky. Good lord. Okay, I need to, like, figure out what direction I need to throw these in, because this is okay. I need to, like, plan out how I'm gonna throw these. I'm pretty sure you can just exit and or no, wait, maybe you just talk to him. That's what I meant to do. But then again, I want them to... Oh. Oh no. The idea is to do it basically just from the center. Right? Like, kind of throw them... Okay, it's not that precise. Because I was pretty close there. I think if I didn't... Like, I'm wondering if the intent is to throw it, like, kind of at each... Oops, at each interval of, like, a clock. But that's obviously easier said than done. I think you just gotta, like, kind of throw shit. That's bullshit, I'm fucking bad. Spent too much time walking around. You can't, like, waste time just, like, throwing, like, whiffs either, but it's like you gotta, like, kind of start throwing shit. Oh god, that angle is fucking terrible. Ah, damn it. I'm so bad. This is actually, like, I'm not gonna say this is, like, super hard or anything, because I keep barely not making it, but it's definitely it's probably the trickiest one of these, including, like, the bob-omb ones in the first game, which I don't really have problems with these days. Okay. Alright, yeah, okay. That's more like it. There might be some weird technique to be able to just do it, like, either in, like, 8 different directions, or 10 or 12, but, like, angling that precisely doesn't feel that great with the Fire Flower in this game. So I feel like it's better to kind of, like, take your shots from the center, and then kind of, like, position a line where you can just clear them all down a row. It's mostly throwing it completely down the center of, like, the 2x2 boxes, so that it destroys all 4 of them in one swoop. A flower with a face. I guess that's true, it is a little weird the Fire Flower has a face on it, but isn't that... It wasn't always like that, though, right? I don't know that I've looked that closely at what the Fire Flower looks like. Obviously in the first Mario Bros, Super Mario Brothers, it wasn't like that, but... I'm thinking back to Mario World, and I'm like... I don't think it was... I think that was probably a new Super Mario Brothers thing, if I had to guess. Because that's very... It's very GameCube era Mario to have, like, faces on everything. Like, Double Dash is the game that I think of when I think... that kind of thing. I'm kind of assuming that there's going to be a Hungry Lumo for coins here. Shit. It's so cool to mess around with the gravity physics here, though, for sure. Like, you could just float here infinitely. Oh, and you can actually, like, kind of fling yourself... You can, like, you gain a little extra distance, maybe? Or maybe it's just determined by your initial distance. Also, I can't move. Yeah, I feel like there's too many coin things here for it to not be a Hungry Luma, probably. You are now upside down. Well, that's so weird. I was trying to long jump the other way. If there is a Hungry Luma, he probably requires quite a bit. Shit. I'm like trying to bail way too early. Oh my god. Okay, thank you, Drift. That's just star bits. I don't know though. God, it's so weird. I'm so bad too. Damn it. Yeah, I think that's kind of the idea. Bop, bop, bop. I don't know that they would put a Hungry Luma this far in, though. So maybe I'm... It's possible I'm wrong. That doesn't work. Yeah. Give me that. I almost kind of got it. That was some weird trajectory there. So very weird that that doesn't kill these guys. It's fine. I can just kind of walk into it. So no Hungry Luma, just a lot of coins. For some reason. That's fine, though. It would be cool if there was something to spend your excess coins on. Like, I know there's the... Well, the lottery costs star bits, though. So I'm like, actually, is there anything to do with your extra coins? It always bothers me in games when, like, you have a resource, even if it is... Well... If you have a resource that isn't, like, finite, and, like, something that you can get more of if you grind for it or, like, go out of your way for it, but then there's nothing to, like, spend it on beyond, like, you know, you end up with an excess kind of thing. What's up, Space Cowboy? Squizzard's Sandy Sinkhole. Is that a euphemism? Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it should be going live. New video should be going live for everybody in just a few hours. Because, of course, there is that 24-hour member exclusivity, which I've considered upping to 48, but... Like, I just don't know. I don't know what people really look for in terms of that kind of perk. But yeah, glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. I did cut it down quite a bit. There were some talking points that I think will be better served for later. Be it on the 13 trilogy as a whole, or like when I get around to 16 in particular, I think some talking points are better saved for there. But that is a weight off my shoulders. I'm glad that video is done. I am literally on the final boss of episode Aegis. I have not attempted it yet, but I finally got through that kind of boss gauntlet towards the end of that game, or that DLC. Unlock the full key. Yeah, so I don't really know much about it. There is, yeah, there's that community feature where, like, your viewers can, like, post stuff. But I didn't, I looked at it and I wasn't, like, totally sure what, like, how exactly it works, like, truly. So I need to look into it more. And see, like, what that is. If I could make it a member perk, I think that would be cool. Sort of as, like, an alternative to Discord, in a way, because I'm not really a big Discord guy. I'm really bad. Okay, it's just a 1-up. I don't know if I need this. It looks like I do not. Yeah, okay. Oh, the music here, though. Best world in the game? I'm not saying the best galaxy necessarily, but I'm saying, like, this is an amazing selection. Alright, we're playing Sonic now. We're playing a boost Sonic game without the boost. Yeah, Luigi's just having a grand old time. He's like... Oh god. Oh god. This is really narrow. Holy crap. Anything to do here? Oh, you can buy a... Oh, because this is going to be a boss fight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyone who's subbed. Yeah, I know. I looked at the settings, too. Like, you can change how long someone has to be subbed. I don't know what that goes up to. It's sort of similar to... like when you do subs-only chat on live streams. Oh, I kind of remember this fight. I'm assuming I have to wait for his mouth to open. Okay. Seems pretty tame so far. Oh wait, I missed my opportunity. I need to be careful I don't... Like that, I think that's actually death right near him. Damn, he's got sand cannons. Sannons, if you will. Also, what is preventing me from just standing here? If the fireball hitbox, that might be a more trivial fight than it looks. It's definitely one of the more underwhelming fights, I think, in this game. Where I think, like, there's quite a few... There's, like, at least a handful of mini-bosses in this game I think are pretty fun. They're mostly limited by the fact that it's just, like, 3 cycles, you know? For the most part. Like, it's not the ladybug one, but the one where, like, you're on that, like, thin disc, and she can, like, crawl under, and you're supposed to ground pound the grates to hit her. It's like, that's a cool fight, but it doesn't last that long. So, like, that's kind of the issue. That fight, on the other hand, it seemed like the fireball hitbox is generous, because aiming it kind of doesn't feel great, admittedly. It's not the worst thing ever. It rarely requires you to be precise. But the hitbox is very generous, and it seemed like when he was throwing the spiked balls at me, if I just looked forward because he was aiming at me and threw fireballs, they would hit them before they hit me. So I bet the strat for that is actually to just stand in one spot and just, like, throw fireballs straight ahead the entire time. Which is a little unfortunate. Again, not the biggest deal, but, you know. Ah, is this the first bubble level? No, it's just sunshine again. It's the Sandbird, but less traumatic. I kind of like the Sandbird level in Sunshine, though. I mean, it's tough, but, like, I don't know. That's one of those levels in Sunshine that I do genuinely like. Starbits. Oh yeah, and then gravity follows me. I'm kind of bad, but we recovered. Yeah, this is so cool, dude. What is stopping me from just, like, standing here? Oh, I guess because the gravity... So the orange one's... What's the green one, then? Could it... Maybe that's the hidden star, is the green one? I'll finish up Ishin, nice. Nice, yeah. No, good shit. Yeah, getting audio to sound good is... It's one of the more frustrating things when it comes to doing this. I kind of found something that sort of works, and people don't really complain about it, so I've, like, not messed with it since. I'm really bad at it. I feel like it's... See, I don't... People have asked about the sensitivity on the aiming, and there are ways to mess with that. I don't know, like, a tried and true way to do it. But I was just thinking about it, because I'm like, I don't really aim and shoot much, which I find is, like, what requires the most precision when it comes to the pointing. Most of the pointing in this game I find to be pretty forgiving, with the pole stars and things like that. But... yeah, when it comes to aiming and shooting star bits, it does require precision, but, like, I think the way to do it is really just to, like... I think the way to do it is to just, like, aim and hold. Like, just fire and kind of adjust based on where you're hitting, as opposed to where you're pointing. You know? And just kind of, like, make micro adjustments. You'll get really good at shooters, too. Because, like, you know, this pointer automatically points it back to the middle of the screen, as opposed to keeping the cursor where you last had it pointed. Let me just double check. There's no letter, yeah. Oh yeah, cool. Good stuff. This just takes us back. Still don't have 1500. Shiverburn. Yes. Yeah, this is like a better... To me, this is a better version of Freeze Flame from Galaxy 1. And I would assume that the devs agree, because they didn't just bring back Freeze Flame, they were like, no, let's do it again. And I think, like... I don't know where... I've been watching some... going through the old Did You Know Gaming catalog, which is a channel that I've always enjoyed watching. for a long time, but... Oh shit. Wait, I meant to long jump, and I'm kind of bad for that. Wait a second, I think we're dead. Whoops. I totally meant to long jump and I spun instead. That's my bad. Just pressed the wrong button. But, I think it was on one of those, but, like, for some reason it came up that, like, the tidbit about Miyamoto saying that there was, like, still work to be done after Galaxy 1, or there were still ideas, like, kind of gas left in the tank as far as ideas that they didn't get to utilize. And I feel like this Galaxy is kind of like an encapsulation of that. It's like, it's literally the ice and fire kind of thing, but again... But yeah, that's funny. It still places a cloud. Heal back up. Is this a chimp challenge over here? Maybe? Perhaps? Yep, sure is. The gummits. 600 or more. I don't think this is... I don't think they're set patterns, but I think that there is like a pool of configurations that come up. Like, I don't think it's actually completely set. But yeah, I think there are just like certain patterns that have a chance of popping up, which I just did the same thing twice, but I'm a little focused here. Oh shit. I almost didn't make it. I should have beelined for the golds, but I don't know, I thought I'd be able to clear that, that second to last formation or whatever. But yeah, I should be finally getting around to playing Raido Remastered. Tomorrow, probably? Because, like, tonight I'll probably just do the final boss for episode I, guess, wrap that. Kind of finish taking my notes on that for a video. And, yeah, move on. I think there is one more Hungry Luma, but I don't remember if there's one in World 6 and World 7, or if it's just, like, one or the other. Yeah, I don't want these extra clouds for when the ice spawns in, because then when I go to skate, it doesn't matter now, but when I go to skate, it'll place a cloud when I don't want one. The Comet Medal is, like, around here, I think. I think maybe it's like a little further down, maybe? This seems like a place where they would put the Comet Medal and have it, like, come in with the moving platforms, but maybe not. Oh, maybe it's up here, though. Yeah, there it is. I don't know what your recovery options are when you hit the lava here, because I don't know if it bounces you high enough to actually get out. Oh yeah, the meteors kind of spawned the, I actually think I would appreciate the extra health for this boss. If only because... Okay, so yeah, the spin... Shit. Maybe just for this encounter, because I'm actually bad. There we go. Also, I wonder if you could just damage boost past them, though. I'm dog shit. Should be okay. I don't think I need to buy the extra 6 or the extra 3 health. Yeah, I remember this being a pretty fun boss, though. And I think it is, like, sort of... Yeah, like, he'll shoot the green one eventually. Yeah, there it is. I don't know if you have to play Ganondorf volleyball with him. Ping pong, whatever you want to call it. Damn. I'm kind of bad. You definitely get the fast cycle if you hit the ones that he shoots in the air, of course, which is nice. I'm gonna try and do it again. I mean, it's tricky because, like, you can't see initial... Well, I guess it's like one... Yeah, the very first one that shows up. Yeah, exactly. Again, cool fight, just a little short, you know. That's like kind of the one area where I'm like... I think that's why Bouldergeist stands out to people, because it has 2 different, completely different phases that you do like 3 cycles each. And maybe even, well, I know it's not an additional cycle, but like, you know, you could waste one of the Bomboos, or whatever they're called, if you hit his hands once they spawn in. Plus there's like the Daredevil run and stuff like that. $50 star bits. I could withdraw. I did not talk to you, though. All by yourself. $351. I should probably check my other file and see if there's more I could deposit, though. So we're just short, like, about 100, like, not even. I don't think I can get 100 on here. But I can get close, maybe. Boop, beep, boop. Boop, beep, boop. Boop, beep, boop. And by close, I mean not at all. It'll probably be a matter of, like, we do the Bowser Jr. level, and then do the Hungry Luma. But if there is another Hungry Luma in World 6, I might actually pop in... Like, in that case, I might actually pop in to my other save and see if there's star bits that I didn't put in the bank for some reason. And of course, if I went back and did the comet levels, like, that would be something that would help me like kind of keep up and rack up the star bits that I need for these Hungry Lumas, but oh, this looks promising. This looks very... Oh, I remember this. Yeah. It's very proto brutal fight in Bowser Kingdom of Odyssey. It's very akin to that. Also, there's something unique about this area, right? Isn't there? I don't know if there's a hidden star, or maybe I'm just thinking of the comet. I do think it's clever that... I think it's clever... Oh, you know what it is? It's that the bullet bill thing is still active, yeah. Keep it high, I'm ass. I'm actually bad. But yeah, like, you got the robot from the previous time we fought him. And the bullet bill cannon is still active, which is really fun. Keep it up high, keep it up high. Alright, perfect. I'm pretty sure... That's fun. Okay, good. You can actually jump on these, which is good. Was not remembering. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da, bum, bum. Also, is that the first instance of a boomerang bro in 3D Mario? I don't feel like you see these guys often. I'll get the 6 health, just, you know, why not? Another cannon. See, like, it wants you to fire at this bullseye, but I'm like, what if you just stuck the... I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it's like, what if you did stick the landing on one of these? That'd be pretty badass. Probably not as hard as it looks, but... still, though. I want all these star bits, thank you very much. Yeah, and then we go for good old comet. Replenish our clouds. Just making sure the player understands how the clouds work one last time before the boss, which I guess is understandable because you never know. That could maybe be seen as a design flaw in that if you can skip over levels, it's like you can't guarantee that the player has used a certain thing before. Then again, I don't know if you can avoid going to Fluffy Bluff at all in the first world, you know? No, that's totally fair. I think at least just, like, having checked out the Cyber Sleuth games is... Like, you've seen it, you know what I mean? Like, I remember I wasn't, like, super... enthused by the first Cyber Sleuth after a while. Didn't play much of Hacker's Memory, though. Especially because I was, like, so burnt out on the first one after a while. But I'm, you know, worth experiencing and all that, like, or at least checking out, you know? Especially considering that the next Digimon Stories game is coming out this year. Which I'm very curious, like, to see how that might improve or expand on, like, what the those earlier titles did. Why did the Starbits all go at it, like... Why'd they all fall this way? Yeah, give me this shit. shit. Nice. Again, though, with the bosses having, like, they just need another phase, man. Like, I know these are platformers, and so, like, boss fights are not necessarily meant to be, like, the focal point, but... Granted, I mean, I felt similarly about even like, Shadow Generations, which I thought had some pretty solid boss fights. But even then, whenever I've gone back to refight them, it's usually like, I feel like these could be a little longer, though. You know? Or, like, just have, like, one more phase with, like, another twist to it. It's like one step further, you know? Oh, barely started it, though. No, I mean, that's totally fair. It's not like the game's going anywhere if you ever decide to, go back to it anyway. So it's like, yeah. Shit happens. I've dropped plenty a game before. I've been so selective lately, though, that, like, honestly, it hasn't been too bad committing to the games that I've wanted to play. Like, even FF13, for all the criticism I levied at, like, the first half in particular, it's like, I still pushed through, and I still played it all the way through, and, you know, I'm glad I did, ultimately, looking back on it. At least for the sake of being like, okay, because I've kind of made it, like, sort of an unspoken goal to, you know, play through and ideally finish each single-player mainline at Final Fantasy. I know that's, like, kind of a specific thing, but it's like, I don't really want to play the MMOs, at least for the time being. Not because... It's more just, like, a taste thing, like, I don't like, I'll talk about it more if I ever get a chance to talk about FF12 in, like, a future tier list or something. It's just like MMO sensibilities, be it structure, combat. That's mostly it. Like, it's mostly gameplay things. It's like, I just don't like those types of design philosophies, which is part of what put me off from Xenoblade 1, because that game clearly has some MMO-esque inspiration. And it's not really my cup of tea. But not saying Xenoblade 1 isn't, or couldn't be. I would be down to give it another try. It's just that at the time, like when I last tried it a few years back, I think if I played it now, I would have a little bit of a different perspective on it. Especially, like, having played, like, FF13 kind of specifically, because it's sort of that era as well. It's always interesting to see, like, what... Because, like, you know, it's weird. Like, the PS3 era is weird for, like, Mega 10, because there weren't really Megami Tensei games on the PS3. Like, because it pivoted to Nintendo, weirdly. It's, like, strange. Well, okay, Persona, yeah. But even then, not really, because, like, P5 came out, like, well into the PS4's life cycle. Still came out on PS3, but, like, that's 2016 in Japan, 2017 in the US. Yeah, see, that's kind of where I'm at, too. Like, I understand and like, I believe people when they say FF14 is great, and, like, all of that. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm just like, I'm not really in the market to play an MMO, though. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm just not interested in playing MMOs at this point. And even then, like, way back in the day, when I, like, quote-unquote played RuneScape, I was so young, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I wasn't, like, doing the things you're supposed to be doing, like, you know, grinding your skill levels and stuff like that. I feel like I missed a gate. I think you follow the star bits to find the gates. Also, I forgot my own control scheme for a second. I was like, oh yeah. Hold down on the D-pad. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I am running low on single-player Final Fantasies to play. It's pretty much just 13-2, Lightning Returns, and then 16, because I've already played 15. Yeah, there was a gate that I missed. I fucking knew it. Also, I'm tilting my head again. This level's kind of lit, though. Isn't there like there's like a timed version of this, or the comet on this one I remember being a pain in the ass, but I don't remember why. Or maybe it was just trying to get this star medal. That's always so nerve-wracking. Like, you pass through all the gates, but you have to hit the star medal still. Also sub-minute, which is kind of cracked because I wasn't even going for time. I don't even know if that's actually impressive. It probably isn't, considering I wasn't going for time, but it's at least a metric I can latch on to, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I kind of figure probably by the time I do finish 13-2 Lightning Returns in 16, either 7 Part 3 is going to be out, or the FF9 remake will show its face, or like we'll probably hear something from Final Fantasy by then. You know? Understandable there's nothing this year. Like, I think FF7 Part 3 will happen sooner than people think. Yeah, there is a comment there. Because, you know, consider that there's no DLC. Like, it's not like with a remake where they went from remake to rebirth in 4 years. A little bit less, by like a couple months. But like, you know, about 4 years. But they also did the Yuffie DLC, like, between that. And I'm sure the PC port was handled externally to an extent, or like with, you know, some help from other teams. But like, that's also a factor. You know, like the Rebirth PC port was turned around in less than a year, which is crazy. I'm here for it. I'm hoping Part 3 is just gonna release on PC same day. But it remains to be seen. I mean, Square's been very vocal about pivoting away from the exclusivity stuff for a number of reasons. Oh yeah, this is a fun one too. This game is so fucking good, dude. So what, I'm supposed to like pull myself towards this? Is that how it's supposed to work? Yeah, this is a cool one. Also, there is a Mario Odyssey, like, challenge room that is just like this, but with poison. So it's an insta-kill. You know, as many issues as I have with Odyssey, I do still think it's a great game, though. Like, I do think, realistically speaking, it would probably be in my top 5. Probably on the lower end of my top 5, but it's hard for it not to be, considering the movement is so good. Like, even if there's structural things and, like, you know, there's a reason why it's not top 2 or top 3 or, like, number 1, you know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, I do think that is one of those Switch games that, while not at the very tippy top of my upper echelon, is, you know, considering how I feel about a number of, like, other Switch titles in series that I used to love, I think Odyssey does a decent job, you know? As far as, like, not making me want to write off the series and its direction in its entirety. Or at least for the foreseeable future. Also, I feel like the Comet is somewhere around here, but I don't know. Oh no, it's over here, I see it. I like these dudes, they're funny. Oh shit. Oh, I have 6 health, so we're chilling. We're literally not chilling, but you know what I mean. I don't know if those whole planets become... I don't know if the whole planet becomes a danger zone. Either way, we're fine. If there's a Daredevil variant of this, that's probably what I'm thinking of. The game looked cool. No, yeah, dude. I know I talked about it. Whatever stream it was that I did following the showcase. Yeah, because you know I was like, initially when DK Bonanza got revealed, I was like, it looks cool. It's probably gonna be fun, but I wasn't like mind blown about it. The direct convinced me, like, yeah, it looks fucking awesome. Like it legitimately looks awesome. Like straight up. That is like making you want to pick up a Switch too. No, totally. I mean, I don't blame you. And you know, assuming certain lessons were learned from Odyssey, that could also factor into, you know, potentially that game being, you know, one of the best 3D platformers ever, potentially. I don't want to get people's hopes up, but it's more just like, you know, Nintendo nails 3D platformers more often than not. And Bonanza looks like it's shaping up to be a great one, straight up. That alone isn't going to get me to buy a Switch 2, but like that is like, all right, mark 1 on the board, you know? Mark 1 thing on the board that is like, if there's like a meter, you know, that like eventually gets to me buying a Switch 2, it's like, all right, we're like 1 tick past 0, essentially. Because like, I thought about it, and I don't know if I talked about this on stream or not. Like, I played pretty much every Mario Kart game from Double Dash on. Actually, I think I did. Like, I was I don't know about day 1 owner, but I was an early owner of every Mario Kart game from starting like after Double Dash, because I technically got the GameCube a little later. But then again, Double Dash might have been new at the time. So I got the 2003 bundle that came with it. But yeah. Yeah, like Mario Kart DS I played the shit out of, Mario Kart Wii I played the shit out of. 7 less so, especially because like at the time it was like, okay, late high school. Or no, actually, that was 2011. Like middle of high school, you know? But then like 8 came out like... I don't know, I feel like at that point though, it was kind of like playing Mario Kart on its, like by myself was only so fun, and it was tricky with a handheld. Like with DS, you had DS download play, so like at least, well, I'm really bad. You at least had DS download play on Mario Kart DS, so you could like, you could have one kart and still play multiplayer. 3DS didn't have that kind of thing, as far as I'm remembering at least, like 7. 8 came out at a weird time for me though, because I was like graduating high school at the time. But I loved 8, like even from day 1. But then 8 Deluxe, like I have enjoyed like, you know, going through the cups on every CC and stuff. Or at least, you know, starting with 150. But it's like these days Mario Kart has really become like pretty much exclusively a multiplayer thing, which is not really something that either my friends don't have Switches to play multiplayer, or like other circumstances where it's like I'm just not playing. Shit. Talking too much. I just don't have like the means or desire to play multiplayer as much as I once did. And so with the World, it's like, it looks kind of underwhelming to me outside of the core gameplay. Like I said it when the Bonanza Direct happened, I'm like, why is Mario Kart the $80 game and Bonanza's the $70 game? I don't think any of them should be 80, but it's more like, if you were to pick one, it's like, Bonanza looks like the higher value game to me, so I don't know what the fuck they're thinking or doing with that. It's weird. It's really weird. Like, yeah, incentive to buy the bundle, etc. But like, would you not be incentivized to buy the bundle if it was 70? I know it's still like $20 versus 30 that you save in that case, but like, it would kind of seem like a no-brainer considering it's like the only worthwhile quote-unquote launch title. And I'm sure it's fun to play online. I'm sure it's fun because the wall riding and rail grinding does actually look cool, and there's probably a lot of tech there. But then it's like, what are you doing with that? You're playing online multiplayer, which is not really something I go out of my way to do. And you're roaming around the world, which might be a cool novelty, but looks like it would get old fast. And also, like, you don't really get much of value out of doing that. In a lot of cases. That's what it seems like. And, yeah, it's kind of like I said, like, Mario Kart World kind of turned out sort of exactly as I kind of anticipated, as far as people's perception of it. Oh, these guys don't give star bits? No, I thought they would. But yeah, the Bonanza Direct did, like, kind of convince me to, this is how I would farm star bits. It's this level. This is the starbit farm level. Oh shit. Lost control there a little bit. But yeah, that's all to say, like, I don't really feel like I'm missing out much by not playing Mario Kart World right now. Plus, they'll probably add content to it. At some point. Oh, speaking of which, you know how I said that, like, I want to get around to Expedition 33, but I just haven't yet, kind of deal? Or, like, you know, I'm trying to play the stuff that I already own before I buy new stuff. If I can help it. Reports, I don't know if this is officially announced or, like, what, but, like, they're gonna add new content to it. So I'm like, okay, perfect. I can pick up, like, the Game of the Year edition or whatever. Oh, shit. I should not be holding forward, probably. That's what screwed me up, I think. Well, no, I mean, that's true, but also consider, like, it is the only... It's literally the only worthwhile exclusive on Switch, too. So, like, if you're picking up a Switch 2, it only makes sense to grab Mario Kart World with it. Because I've also heard that, like, the third-party games that are new to Nintendo, like, aren't doing, like, that well. You know, whether that be because people have already played them elsewhere, or the interest just isn't there, or what, but... Yeah, I'm like, if you're gonna buy any game on Switch 2, like, it's gonna be Mario Kart World, of course. I think the idea is to break the rock on that single block over there, maybe? But yeah, that is the starbit farming level, for sure. And I'm sure Bonanza's going to sell a number of systems as well if people didn't get them at launch. But I'm like, I can also understand it from the perspective of people who... Like, I wanted that power upgrade too, but at the same time, I've already been able to play these games at actual frame rates, thanks to the E word. But, and I get not everyone wants to do that for a number of reasons, whatever, but it's more just like, that prospect is not exciting to me if it's not also alongside exclusive games that I can't play by other means, I guess. And, like, I know Nintendo wants to sell hardware and stuff like that, I get it, and they want you in their ecosystem, and they want that prestige of, like, you can only play this here, but I'm like, man, I would buy so many more Nintendo games, probably, if they were on Steam. Like, I would probably buy and play more Nintendo stuff if they were on the platform that I already play on. You know, hence... well, okay, it's not like I'm playing a ton of Sony exclusives that come to PC necessarily, but that's like a reason why I have not bought a PlayStation, to be fair, so it's like... And that was even like before these games started coming to PC. There were a few, like Spider-Man was one, FF7 Remake was one, and is that it? I think so. I'm trying to remember where the Comet Medal is. Oh, right, there's a, we'll do the Hungry Luma. Well, let's figure out how many he needs, and then we'll go from there. 30, It's a tricky thing, though. Like, normally consoles are sold at a loss. I don't know what the case is with that as far as the Switch or Switch 2. But I'll stand by what I said in that, like, yeah, if these games were available for purchase on PC, I would probably play more of them. It's like, maybe if Mario Kart World was on PC, it's like, maybe I would indulge. Probably not for 80 bucks, but like, you know. The problem, though, with that, though, is Nintendo doesn't like to put their games on sale. And I understand from their perspective, like, why they do that, or don't do that. But at the same time, PC is kind of the platform for waiting for things to go on sale, and when that doesn't happen, it's like an oddity. So I feel like Nintendo would sell quite a bit to PC exclusive players. I mean, most of the time you do the combo of PC plus Nintendo because of how is stringent the right word, but how strict they are with their exclusivity. Like, it's a pretty common pairing, right? But I also feel like PC gamers tend to be pretty stubborn when it comes to certain things, myself included. And I feel like one of those things would be not buying Nintendo's games as much as you might think until they go on sale, or like unless they concede and put them on sale, kind of thing. But I don't know. I think it'll happen eventually, but we're talking like not anytime soon. Because, you know, people said the same shit about PlayStation and Microsoft, like, as far as just console exclusive stuff is concerned, and, like, look where we are now. The thing is, Nintendo's probably the least incentivized to do that, which is why they haven't. Oh, right. The Comet Medal is up here. I just remembered. I don't know if this... I could probably long jump into it from here, maybe. No. I have to go like one cycle further down, I think. If I go from here. Oh, fucking shit. Yeah, it's probably better to just get on one of these guys from as far back as possible. I was like, where is the gap? Where is death? As I was floating above there. Thankfully it's not like directly above a death gap. Oh shit, I almost made it though. Also, I forget how many coins he needed. 30? I mean, I just, you know, I just end up getting as many coins as I can before leaving that first planet. That's the actual answer. I'm so fucking ass. I am so fucking ass. Not a family-friendly playthrough. Just for the record, I am a grown-ass man. What's down the pipe? Probably just a bonus thing, yeah. Luigi goes, yeah. Yeah, if only we could take these coins back to the beginning, right? Wait, are we still on the first level? Hold up. Yeah, this is when the levels start to get really long. Oh shit. Barely made it. But yeah, that bowling pin level, that's the starbit grinding spot right there. So I'll probably be going back to do that quite a bit. I still don't totally understand how those monkey bars work. I just kind of like press A as soon as I start swinging, and it seems to work out. But yeah, I do feel like in some sense people are getting like further and further entrenched into their gaming ecosystems, right? And it makes sense because like the library's been carrying over. You know, PS4 into PS5, Xbox One into Series, Switch 1 to Switch 2. So it's like, it makes sense. Which is why it does confuse me why people are... Like, I understand being, like, disappointed in how exciting... Oh, there's a chimp level back here. So that would put me at 51 here, then. But maybe that maybe that just specifically doesn't spawn in until you do more. I think I'm gonna press on, and I'll save that for now. So now we do the coin bonus star, the Hungry Luma. But yeah, it confuses me why people wanted Nintendo to shake things up to a serious degree. Like, I get that that's what they've done, but it's also like... It also makes a lot of their game... I've talked about it before, like, a lot of DS games and Wii games, because of the gimmicks, they, like, don't hold up in some ways. Like, they don't work as well on, like, a system that doesn't have dual screens with the touch screen, or doesn't have motion control capability. And so it's one of those limiting factors where it's like, okay, they kind of have to keep these features around if they want these games to be playable to some capacity, which is a limitation. It's like kind of not, because they have features that they otherwise wouldn't, but it limits what they could possibly do. Like they can't, any idea that doesn't include those things wouldn't work in that case, right? And I would actually argue, like, there are definitely some DS and Wii games that, like, those gimmicks are integral, but honestly, as I'm playing a Wii game without motion controls, for the most part, I feel like it's kind of superfluous, actually. Like, I don't really feel like much is compromised by removing motion control from... not that I'm anti-motion control, but it's more just like... It's nice to have the option, right? I talked about it in the Galaxy 1 streams, Or like games like, you know, Skyward Sword, which of course has button controls in the HD version and stuff. Like that game and like Wii Sports Resort, I don't really think make as much sense without them. Like those are probably two of pretty few examples, I would say, that the motion controls are like kind of integral to the experience. I guess the first Wii Sports too, but like, why would you play the first Wii Sports when Resort exists? Unless you specifically want to play regular tennis over table tennis. Yeah, I don't actually remember how many coins I need. It might have been 20. I guess I can go check. Shit. It's a coin block, right? Yeah. Bum 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 bum. It's so good. 30, beautiful. What was my point though? Yeah, the thing is, like, do you really want, like, did people really want, like, their Switch games to be relegated to specifically just the Switch? Because to me, that sounds like a big mistake. If they, I guess there's nothing to say that if they didn't do a gimmick that Switch 1 games couldn't play, because Switch 1 games don't really rely on a gimmick akin to, like, touchscreen or motion controls. Like, certain games, yeah, because there is gyro and stuff like that, but not in the same way as the DS and Wii. And, like, even Wii U, it's like, that was a big criticism of the Wii U, is that, like, they just didn't leverage the gimmick enough to make it the gamepad, like, actually warranted. And then when they did with Star Fox Zero, people fucking hated it. Not saying everyone did, but I'm just saying, like, generally. So it's like, I don't know. I get that the Wii's motion controls were revolutionary, pun intended. But it's like, think back about like how many Wii games like genuinely rely on motion controls to feel like a complete experience, right? It's very few, I think. And even if that's the case, it does suck that then to get that full experience, you kind of need to plug in your Wii and play it that way, whereas other games can actually be playable on other systems. Case in point. So I don't know. Like, I think, like, you know, the attach rate, the abysmal attach rate of the Wii, that system sold a shit ton, but the attach rate and the people that it lost to the other systems for the subsequent generation, at least until the Switch came out, mind you, but, and even then, like, the Switch, I'd have to look. The Switch didn't really pop off to the degree that it's at now until the pandemic hit. Like, I remember that being, like, anyone who has vaguely ever played a video game, by that point, if they didn't already own a Switch, they probably grabbed one, you know? And then it kind of becomes a Wii scenario, except it's different because the attach rate on the Switch is actually, like, kind of insane for certain games. Like Mario Kart 8 especially, like, I think like 1 in 2 or 1 in 3 people who own a Switch own Mario Kart, which is like nuts. It's warranted. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is awesome. You know, I said my piece on Mario Kart World for like what it looks like to me, someone who hasn't played it. But it's like there's a reason for that, and it's because they made 8 Deluxe too good. Like, Mario Kart 8 is just too good. It's too difficult to outdo that, which is why they took it in a different direction. I get that. But then it's the typical thing of like it's going to take a few games in that format, if they stick to that format, to actually iron out the kinks and make it like, you know, like we're playing a Mario 64 level here, right? And like Nintendo did kind of nail it out the gate when it came to like 3D platforming sensibilities and stuff like that. There's some things you could criticize it for, sure. I have in the past, but it's more like they got the broad strokes right? Sunshine went a little experimental. I don't think it panned out, personally, as far as the quality, but that also could have been like the GameCube's doing poorly. We've got to get this thing out now, and so they kind of rushed it, maybe. I talked about that with being the case with like Wind Waker, clearly, and Melee, especially. As great as of a game, as great a games as those are, in certain ways. You know, I'm not the biggest Wind Waker fan, but I don't dislike the game. I don't think it's bad by any means. But it's also, like, far from my favorite Zelda. But anyway, that's a non sequitur. But, like, then Galaxy comes around, it does something a little bit different, but the polish is there. Like, they've done this a few times. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but, like, they do nail a lot of aspects to it, right? I don't know. I don't know if 3D Mario is the greatest example, but it's more just like, typically, you know, a sequel to a game, an iterative sequel, typically, you would hope, at least, like, improves upon what the original did, right? Because there are lessons learned from that. And I talked about how that tends to be how I feel about a lot of game sequels. Whether it be this game, whether it be Prime 2, whether it be, you know, any other example that I've given in the past. Tropical Freeze, I guess, is another example there, too. Oh, that's cute that they do, like, the fake out for the Womp. And then it's like, no, here's the real Womp boss fight. Ooh. Dude just wants to pay for his dental care. Dental plan. Also, wait, there is a way to cheese this, yeah? Does he do anything to get Luigi off of him? That's funny. I don't know if I've ever actually tried that. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, though. And, you know, that's why I wanted Nintendo to do, like, an Odyssey 2 or something, because it's like, okay, you nailed a lot, like, certain aspects of Odyssey 1, but there are other things that could be ironed out in a sequel. And that's typically how Nintendo handles things, too. This touches on, like, the whole remake conversation I talked about. It's like, they would rather do those kinds of improvements in a sequel than a remake. And I can respect that. Even if the sequel ends up being iterative and, like, you know, whatever. I mean, the thing is like, Nintendo isn't really known for games with, like, strong storytelling in the traditional sense. And I feel like that is more often than not the case for a lot of remakes, is that, like, the story is compelling, but the gameplay doesn't hold up, or, like, you know, whatever. That's because it's usually the changes that are being made to remakes is gameplay changes and refinements. You might as well take the opportunity to iron out some kinks with the story if that is necessary, or, like, whatever. And of course, whether someone views that as being necessary or not will be subjective, of course. It's a pros and cons scenario, I've talked about it before. But, yeah, the thing is, Nintendo, because they are so gameplay focused, in their design philosophy, the gameplay in many of their games holds up very well generation over generation. Like, even in a very experimental era being the N64 era, where I think a lot of games don't hold up in certain regards, as someone who owned an N64 back in the late 90s, not like I was playing all the heavy hitters because I was a child, but it's more just like, you know, I grew up on that era, but I look back on that era thinking, like, a lot of these ideas are pretty unrefined. it's not even just the graphics necessarily, it's just like figuring out how 3D game design works, you know? But at the same time, like, I would... Like, are there things about Mario, the way that Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time or, like, any of Nintendo's heavy hitters from that time play? Like, I could probably think of some things, sure. But, like, it's not really anything that, in my opinion, hinders the experience, I guess. It's always a case-by-case thing, sure. But I don't know, I do feel like that's probably why turn-based games fared pretty well during that generation, especially on PS1, like specifically on PS1. From what I understand, as someone who hasn't like delved fully into that catalog. But it's more like, you know, I have my issues with how like the ATV games play in the PS1 games, because they get a little up their own ass about the graphics, because yes, they were impressive for the time, but like I don't need to sit through this fucking several minute long summon animation and all this garbage for the millionth time, you know? So it's like things like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, I think games like that fare better in a modern context than action games of the time. As someone who just played through the first Metal Gear Solid, which I thought was awesome from a storytelling standpoint. Like, even like a presentational standpoint, I really enjoyed that game, but actually playing it was like not always awful, but like there's just like a lot of moments I can think back on that were frustrating for one reason or another. But yeah, so like, I guess it depends, of course. Like, there's always gonna be counterexamples and all that. But yeah, I feel like turn-based games, like, that's why they fare better. Like, even like I think holding up better overall. Than a lot of action games of that time. And you know, I say action as kind of like a generalized term. I don't mean like necessarily DMC, which was PS2, but right, the first Devil May Cry was PS2, right? I think so. Pretty sure. Like that game and like obviously DMC3 were like pioneers in like the traditional, like what you think of as like action game genre. But of course, like, I guess it helps that like Mario 64 with the way that its camera was handled, which, you know, not perfect all the time, but that's one aspect that helps it hold up in terms of an action game from the N64 gen. Ocarina of Time had Z targeting, which kind of like helped that. Like, can you imagine? Like that's one of those things where like I think Metal Gear Solid 1 maybe had some kind of weird auto locking feature or some kind of like lock on that occurred in certain circumstances. I can't remember exactly. But like Zelda, it's very apparent with that. And like also with Zelda, that Ocarina of Time, as much as I love it, it's a very easy game combat-wise. Like, you can spam spin attack and win most encounters. Aside from boss fights. But it's more just like regular standard enemies, like you get the great spin attack and you just use it. You know, like you can watch my OOT 3D playthrough as of now. And just like see, I remember there were like a lot of times where I'm just like spin, like just quick spin after quick spin. So like that helps. Like there's not a frustration there because it is easy. Not saying that's the right answer, but it is a reason why that game holds up. In a sense. And in a sense it doesn't, because that is the solution to a lot of combat encounters. Right? It doesn't hold up in a different sense of like, this isn't deep or compelling combat, but it doesn't cause frustration at least. You know, because you can also use Deku Nuts to like break enemies' guards and stun them and stuff like that if you're caught up on like, you know, waiting for an enemy to drop their shield, for instance. if anyone would even levy that criticism at Ocarina of Time, cough cough. No, I'm kidding. It's fine to have problems with it, it's just more like, there are ways to play around that kind of thing. And, you know, Majora largely plays the same, but Majora also kind of relies... I feel like Majora's combat and, like, its combat encounters sort of rely on... not necessarily swordplay. Like, I think about the mini-bosses in Woodfall, where you're burrowing into the ground as Deku Link, and then, like, springing up to hit the turtles from underneath. And, like, you know, the goat boss fight from Snowhead. I almost called it Snowpeak. But yeah, from Snowhead, where, like, I'm sure there is a way to, like, sit around and shoot arrows at it or something, but, like, you're really supposed to, like, enter Goron form and, like, run into it. Like, you know, get the boost going and, like, run into it. It's kind of like a race. It's kind of like a race, sort of. It's like a combat race. Shit like that. There's, like... and the same can be said for a number of boss fights in OOT. But I'm trying to think, like, I don't really think Majora often has you fighting just random enemies as much as OOT does. At least, like, in a mandatory sense. There's a Daredevil comment on this planet, or on this, in this galaxy, which I would have just failed. A mess. Yeah, we gotta extinguish them elsewhere. But yeah, and then you, like, kind of look at the inverse of what I was saying about, like, the PS2 gen, I feel like, or, like, the GameCube gen, I feel like all types of games kind of thrived. Because a lot of many of the hurdles from 3D game development were, like, kind of figured out by that point. But then, like, you get to the PS3 gen, and I feel like there's probably some good, you know, turn-based games from that era, but it's not really known for that. Because, like, Japanese games were kind of in, like, a dark era at that time. That's where, you know, the Capcom era was, and... Or maybe... I feel like that was the Capcom era, but, like, they still made good stuff every so often. I guess Okami was PS2 gen, though. I was thinking of that as a Wii game, for some reason. As someone who hasn't really played much of Okami. But... like, I mean, I loved Monster Hunter Tri. And that might have been, like, kind of, like, coming out of the Capcom era, maybe. But, like, even Square was, like I know FF13, like, sold well, I'm sure, and stuff like that. I mean, it sold well enough to, like, warrant those sequels, even though that was kind of the plan to begin with, as far as I understand. Like, to make this, like, sort of shared universe, whereas Final Fantasy prior, and, like, still to this day, because it didn't pan out in the way they hoped, is, like... new universe and new lore and stuff like that in each subsequent entry. Like, they're not really connected. With, like, the 13 Saga kind of being an exception to that. But at the same time, like, the reception to 13 was not the most positive. At least, like, I don't know how it did critically, but I know, like, the conversation around it. What, Monster Hunter 3? Yeah, it was weird. Like, Capcom pivoted to Nintendo for some of that stuff and stuff like that. But that was, like, the Capcom era, right? Like, I'm not remembering, like, what they put out that would have warranted that title, but I know that term was thrown around during that era. I guess, like, DMC was in a weird spot. Like, people didn't like DMC 4 at the time, and they did that, like, weird reboot that some people have come to like and stuff like that. They just, like, Japanese games during... I feel like the Xbox 360 PS3 gen, while I'm sure there are some good Japanese developed games there, I'm certain of it. It was more of the era of, you know, Call of Duty and Gears of War and Assassin's Creed and, like, a lot of Western-oriented games kind of being a highlight. BioShock, you know, Batman Arkham, Mass Effect. It's like, I think about Granted, I guess I haven't explored the Japanese side of that gen too much, but I think about like the prominent titles from that generation, and they're almost all Western developed. Whereas these days, I feel like we're kind of in a Japanese gaming renaissance, where I think a lot of there's still plenty of flubs. You know, you got like Babylon's Fall and like shit like that on the Japanese side of things, but I feel like Western games lately, with exceptions, of course, have had more misses than hits. Or, like, just some, like, weird... Like, you know, you think about your anthems and shit like that, right? And just, like, kind of, like, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, and... You know, like, basically, it's just, like, the big live service push, which it has primarily been in the West. Not exclusively, but primarily, I feel like. Battlefront 2, you know? Which I was thinking about it, and I was like, I think loot boxes actually did become less common. I'm sure they're still in the sports games and free-to-play games and stuff like that, but I have seen and heard less of that kind of thing in single-player-oriented games. Oh, Okami? Okami was a PS2 game, I think, originally, if I'm recalling correctly. It might have been like a late-gen PS2 title, though. And that's probably why it came to Wii as well. Star Ocean was, yeah. That's true. I'm not saying that there aren't like good turn-based games or good Japanese developed games on the PS3 or Xbox 360. But it's more like, I don't know, I feel like people don't talk about them as much as they do like Japanese games from the PS2 era, or like really any other gen pretty much, you know? Of course, much of Sony's first-party output is Western developed these days. But pretty much all of it, honestly, is. Most of it. Yeah, the crappy Bionic Commando remake, yeah, Dark Void. Yeah, it was just like, I'm not saying those games are necessarily bad, but I think like compared to the what had been on offer from those franchises in previous gens, or even subsequent gens looking back on it, resonated more with people, I guess. And again, that's a metric that I always try to be like careful with, because it's like, I don't think that pointing to sales or player count or like any of that, like, yes, is important to an extent, but like, I don't, people will point to that as being a metric of like, you're wrong because you don't like this thing, see how many units it sold. And whenever I see that kind of argument, I'm like, you're kind of missing the point, though. You know? Like, that is an indicator that it appeals to a lot of people, for sure. But that's never a guarantee that it will appeal to everybody, and it doesn't diminish someone's opinion if they go against the grain, you know? Like, if they don't agree with the general consensus. Oh, Metacritic is like another one people point to. That's another metric. It'll be like, look, but it has, you know, X number on Metacritic, and it's like, okay. That is telling of, like, you know, general consensus, but again, it's like, it doesn't mean that that is, like, the only right opinion to hold, I guess. Where did I get onto this? Oh, I guess because I was saying, like, it seems like PS3, like, Japanese-oriented titles, like, didn't do too well, or they were, like, kind of struggling to find their footing or whatever. And maybe, I think part of that actually was debatably trying to appeal too much to Western sensibilities, if that makes sense. Because Western games were thriving so much in comparison. Maybe I'm wrong, though. I don't know. Alright, I need to get these coins in addition to getting them to spawn in. I think it was 20 coins, maybe? But I'm gonna try to grab all of these if I can help it. Just naming games. Oh, just for Capcom. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, because like Dragon Quest was on the DS during that. Well, I guess, yeah, because Dragon Quest 9 was a DS game, weirdly. So I'm like, yeah, thinking about like other turn-based series, and like did I talk about this earlier in the stream? Like how Megami Tensei wasn't on PS3, like kind of specifically. Like that series really, like Megaten in general, be it Persona, Mainline, whatever it is, I think really found its footing in the PS2 era. Raidou, which is topical now. Everyone go buy and play Raidou Remastered. I haven't played it yet. I've heard great things though, and if you want other niche Megaten titles to be remastered, this would be the one to buy. And it also seems high effort, so it's like kind of a no-brainer. I think it's funny, the director of Raidou Remastered, who was the director for the original game, which is cool, he's still around to do that and work on that. He was saying something like buy 20 copies or your family will be cursed or something along those lines, or you'll be cursed for 100 years or something like that, which is pretty funny. I like that. Oh shit. I'm kind of ass. Well, getting the later bumps early is probably better, honestly. Ah, shit. Alright, there's just that. It's literally the first one that I missed. Yeah, this boss fight is actually tricky because you have to get close enough to hit him, but you don't want to actually touch him. Beautiful. Dot hack. I feel like that was PS2, but I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, like even though Megaten found its footing, it's like it's not like every Megaten game on PS2 sold that well. Like I know like P3. From what I understand, Digital Devil Saga nearly bankrupted this because it's like very high budget for the time. Those games are awesome though. And then like P3 kind of saved them, at least partially. And then of course that led to P4, which I don't know how well P4 did on PS2 because it was a 2008 release. Like Golden certainly, and then going into P5. And like I think P5 kind of put the focus onto turn-based games again. In some sense. Yeah, Mana was dead. Like, yeah, a lot of, like, sort of Japanese-centric series were kind of on hiatus, or if they had an entry, people were kind of mixed on it for one reason or another. Again, it's like whether or not that's justified is like, I don't know, what's justified in this world, right? Like, I think I want to wait to do this. I think this will be the last level I do today, but I want to get the star bits for this Hungry Luma first. I actually like how much of a backseat the story takes in this game. Because I really just like, it's like I said in the Galaxy 1 playthrough, it's like I don't think it's bad, I don't dislike it, but it's like I don't need this in a Mario game, you know? So we need 1,800, damn. The bowling level is... Well, let me just double check. Oh, there's 2 more galaxies here, so it's actually, it would put us at more than 75, in fact. if I did everything but comets, and plus I can go back and do Honey Hop, Chimp thing. Yeah, there are still other comets that have not spawned in yet. Let's do, I kind of wish you could click on a galaxy and just go there immediately, but it's not like it takes very long to do this. I'm gonna do this one. Yeah, like Mega 10 was on DS and like 3DS, it was weird. I mean, I act like I was playing those games at the time, but retroactively I think it's weird. You know, as good as some of those games are, it's just like... It's weird, and it kind of sucks, you know? Like, how cool would it have been if, like... SMT4, for instance, was on PS3 or something, right? I don't know if that was saved it, if it was designed the same way, but it would have allowed them to be more ambitious and, like, maybe actually do what they wanted to do with it, instead of whatever the fuck we got. I'm... No, no. Let me get those multipliers going on this. What? Fuck yourself, damn it. I'm so bad, dude. Every day that passes, I need that Michael Jackson voice clip more and more. I'm bad. Be so fitting. It's so stupid, but like, I don't know, I find it funny. Yeah, I'm ass. I'm really eating shit. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like not even... Oh, no coin because it didn't spawn in, yeah. I mean... Shit. Fuck. Oh my god, I'm so ass. I'm really bad. I'm sorry, I'm so bad. Yeah, I guess, yeah, Tales had Vesperia and people liked that. That was like kind of an oddity. That's what I'm saying, it's like, I think about that, I'm like, that's kind of an oddity though. For the time, but that is a good pull. And that was like weirdly 360 exclusive too. I think that was part of it as well, was like Microsoft was pulling a lot of like third-party exclusive kind of stuff. Like you think about like Mass Effect was... Mass Effect and maybe Bioshock were I think both 360 exclusives to start. Which is like weird to think about. That's much better. There we go. Beep ba boop ba beep beep boop boop beep ba ba ba. Get up. Stop hitting me in mid-air, you douche bags. Jesus Christ. That was my fault, obviously, but yeah. I'm just gonna take the easy kill here, and then... Because really the place to rack up points is, like, up here. Yeah, we're chilling. Because this gives like 1,000, right? Yeah. What? Alright, it's fine as long as I don't die. I'll take those. Was there Mario RPG? I guess, like... Yeah, Bowser's Inside Story. That's a big one. Like, yeah, I guess Nintendo's the anomaly, and I was thinking more like home console games, but yeah. Like, that's the thing. I think a lot of turn-based stuff was sort of relegated to handhelds at the time. You think about, like... You know, of course Fire Emblem was going, it wasn't doing too hot at the time, though, to be fair. Pokemon, you know, technically doing the worst it has been, but I think producing some of the best games. I think that's like a super, super high bar as far as like turn-based gameplay is concerned. It's like, generally speaking. Like, yeah, Bowser's Inside Story, you know, like Devil Survivor from Atlas. Like, because once you get to 3DS, you're kind of talking about, like, that's kind of PS4 gen, sorta. Like, SMT4 was 2013, so that was, like, you know, the same year the PS4 came out and stuff. So, you know, again, there's always going to be examples. It's just, like, I do think... I think if you ask most people, they would say that that was probably the darkest time as far as, like, not necessarily just turn-based games, but just, like Japanese games in general, you know? And I think that might be where that notion of, like, JRPG being, like, a derogatory term might stem from, as, like, feeling ashamed for that era or something. I find that weird, though, because, like, it's just a way to, like, denote what kind of RPG you're talking about. Like, I took that sentiment with a grain of salt. Plus, it was just, like, one guy who said that. And I know it was someone important in the industry. I don't mean to diminish their opinion. But it's more just, like... If you say RPG, that doesn't really tell you much, because there are CRPGs, there are, you know, action RPGs and akin to, like, Elder Scrolls and stuff like that. And then there's, like, JRPGs, which, if you say that, you know what people are talking about. Typically, it's party-based, typically it's turn-based. Not always, though. Right? It's like, there's certain hallmarks of it, of that subgenre, as it were. And, like, you know, I enjoy RPGs of most kinds, but the ones I most enjoy are of the Japanese variety. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, and I'm not even gonna get into the whole Final Fantasy discussion as far as turn-based or, like, whatever, because I've said that, like, so many times at this point. And plus, there's, you know, I can kind of give my final thoughts on that sort of sentiment when I get around to playing 16, depending on how I feel about it, you know. So the bowling level isn't. Is it in Melty Monster? I think it is, weirdly. Isn't it? Maybe? Stroll down Rolling Lane, yeah, I think that's this one. So I have, what, 800 or 900 star bits, and I need... about that many, basically, here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play up until, like, the last section. Or I guess, yeah, I'm gonna, like, get as many of these as I can, and then die on purpose. Over and over and over again, in order to retain these star bits. Because, see, that's already... I didn't mean to do that, but it doesn't matter. You know, that's 100. You know, like over 100 per cycle, basically. Also, I do seem to remember, I want to clarify something, because I remember, I think that my first Galaxy 2 stream, I was like, oh, you know, I tested this, but I didn't play on this control scheme or whatever. It's like, no, I did do a full playthrough on this control scheme. I was just misremembering how Yoshi controlled or something weird. As far as, like, pressing B and not A to get him to do his thing. Also, I didn't mean to jump there, but that's fine. Anime IP games out of the question. I don't know. I mean, like, that's kind of its own subgenre, you know? And they continue to come out and kind of be sort of more or less the same as they have been for a while, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. Maybe. But, like, were those games really, like... Maybe in certain cases they were thriving, like, because that's when Ultimate Ninja Storm was coming up, and Budokai Tenkaichi was, I guess, like, PS2 going into PS3 gen, right? I think. Yeah, it's fine. That's what I'm aiming for, like, trying to come away with, like, 800 star bits or something. Something like that. And again, I could check my other save file and see. Because it's nice not having to do this. So, like, I guess I would rather naturally be ahead of the curve as far as star bits are concerned for these Hungry Lumas. But I do feel like Galaxy 1, until, like, the very last one, it's like I didn't really have to... Not that I had to grind much here either. Like, this may or may not be the last Hungry Luma. There might be one more. I feel like there probably is. But, what's it called? It's like here I was behind, but then once I did the other galaxies, I was able to, like, catch up, sort of deal. Whereas in Galaxy 1, it's like I just kind of had more star bits than I needed for most of it, from what I'm recalling at least. Yeah, all things considered, this level is a very quick way to rack up on star bits. Beep, 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 bup, bup, beep, bup, bup, bup. I'm also trying to think of Nintendo's output at the time. Because they tend to be the exception, I guess, with most things. Except for the Wii U, where that was undoubtedly a failure, but they still put out good games during that, on that gen. But, like, I'm trying to think of, like, Nintendo first-party stuff from the Wii. There are some really great games, like, you know, the Galaxy games being among, I think, some of the best games ever made, let alone on this gen. But it's more like what else is there? I think about my favorite Wii games, right? It's like Radiant Dawn comes to mind as one of them. Didn't do well, though. It didn't sell well, so that's not really one that, like, would contribute to the narrative of Japanese-developed games thriving, I guess. But I guess, you know, you look at Wii Sports and Wii Fit and stuff like that, like, those were technically made in Japan, so like fair enough. At least I think. Like I don't actually know because Nintendo doesn't like share that kind of info. That should be nearly enough. If not enough. Yeah, like what Wii games do I have on Dolphin? Radiant Dawn, Punch-Out, and the Galaxy games, and that's it. Skyward Sword would come to mind, but I would rather play the Switch version, which is why I don't. Which is why I don't have it on Dolphin. What? Oh, what? Oh, because I died a bunch. Because I died a bunch on purpose. How many star bits am I at? 1670, perfect. Oh, it's 1800. Ugh. Shit. Alright, well, we'll run through it once more for the one time. My bad. Brawl, yeah, that's a fair point. Brawl is a solid game. One of the best on the Wii. I just wish that it wasn't so heinous in terms of, like, competitive. And I know that's just one angle, right? But that said, like, you know, Subspace Emissary was weirdly the shit at the time. Like, it's weird. I do wish that they used more, like, enemy types from the actual series they were pulling from. I always found that strange. But I guess there's, like, a certain charm at this point now to those specific enemy designs. The Prismids, or whatever the fuck they were called. Or Primids? Some shit like that. Sounds like a damn slur. Alright, so I wasn't gonna die there, but I think I did need to do another cycle to get... I guess I only need 130, so actually no, I could have just done that. I'm just bad, I'm bad. I admittedly don't know the rest of the lyrics off the top of my head. Big fan. Also, I am kind of holding forward during this just to stabilize the turning. Like, not at all times, but it helps you make, like, at least for me, it helps make, like, tighter adjustments. Yeah, there was Battle Revolution. Although coming off of Coliseum, like, Battle Revolution has some solid, you know, it's a way to play Pokemon matches, like, on the big screen in 3D, which at the time still wasn't a thing for, like, mainline. You know, like, the Stadium games did that back on the N64, and Coliseum and XD did that on top of actually having full-on JRPGs to play. Like, actual campaigns. Did I say XG? I hope it... XG is the hack that I'm thinking of, but Coliseum and XD, if I misspoke. But, it is funny to look back on XD Gale of Darkness, though, because, like, of what XD ended up meaning as, like, you know, like the laughing with your eyes closed or whatever the fuck. So it's like, whenever I look at the title for Pokemon XD, it's, like, hard to not see the emoticon. Which I think is funny. Makes me XD. Kidding. What was I saying, though? But yeah, Battle Revolution... Battle Revolution's an interesting game. I wish the battles were faster. That's my thing. There's actually a lot of cool stuff in there with, like, trainer customization and... You know, there are, like, single-player matches to play, but it is just, like, battle to battle to battle. I guess, like, not too unlike Gym Leader Castle from the Stadium games. But Gym Leader Castle has, like, you know, characters you recognize kind of deal. It's not just, like, generic, like, randos sort of deal. I gotta look out for the comet medal, of course. What? I don't know how I managed that, but we take those. There it is. Also, you can't shoot star bits while in Yoshi. In Yoshi. I was gonna say in Yoshi form, on Yoshi. Good lord. Jabba dabba da bum. Jabba dabba da bum. Jabba dabba da bum. Pretty funky. I was used for flip switch and stuff, but the music in this game is so fucking good. I'm so ass. Oh wait. Oh, I maybe could have saved it if I did the Mario World thing. God damn it. Now I don't have Yosh. God damn it, dude. Also, I missed this first one, I think. So that would have kind of sucked anyway. Can I long jump? That'd be great. I did like the laziest long jump input of all time. Dubba dubba dubba. Ba ba bum. Umba. I'm so fucking ass. I'm sorry. I'm just like, oh, there's probably a platform over here. God damn it, I'm so bad. I gotta stop saying that though, because it's like, I don't actually think I'm bad, but it's just more like making stupid mistakes. That's more like it. If I had Yoshi there, I probably could have made... Well, you can't long jump, but obviously... Leaped over, maybe jumped off of him. I seem to remember this one being fun. Okay, so Flash Black is just one, and then Slimy Spring. Oh. So slimy. Yeah, but, the Deep Shell Well, I seem to remember this one being cool. But I guess we'll be sitting at, like, 80 stars pretty much on the dot, right? Because I was 78, this is probably a 1 star, and then Bowser, and then so that's 2/3 down, and it's pretty much just... Although, wait, there might be a hidden star here, I'm trying to remember. Like, is this a bonus level, or is this a chimp thing? Oh, it's a bonus level, but a different one than we've seen. So most of these are probably empty, yeah, or contain a Goomba or something. Cool. Is there really only 1 star here? Maybe there are multiple. I tried a long jump. That was a dumb idea. Damn, they're really tutorializing the shell this late. I guess there hasn't been a ton of underwater stuff. There's been some, though. Not to this extent, I suppose. One could argue there's maybe too much underwater stuff in Galaxy 1. I would maybe say that. I don't mind. I don't mind those levels, but at the same time, this might be a problem. Is there... I think Luigi's gonna drown. Shit. Okay. At least you don't instantly die. Did I miss the comet medal? Maybe it's on the way down? No. Where's the comet medal? I hope I didn't miss it. That'd kind of suck. Yeah, pressing A here doesn't do anything. You just kind of go one set speed. Damn, I did miss the comet medal. Shit. It's a little unfortunate. Where could it have been? Right? I think I missed it. I don't remember getting it. We'll have to replay that one anyway. To get the comet medal, unfortunately. But I think that might have been the first comet medal I missed. There might have been one other, but like since the first level, maybe when I forgot the comet medals were a thing. In my self-proclaimed favorite Mario game ever. But hey, come on. I mean, I don't play this game like super often, but when I do, it's awesome. Yeah. Let's go back and look for this real quick. Also funny how a comet spawns in as I miss a comet medal. Maybe if we look at the preview more carefully. No. Like, it's not out here anywhere, clearly. Like, this kind of looks like it might be something, but I don't think... I don't think it's out here. There's nothing, like, behind us. I wish I could use my camera. There were star bits that I could get on up there, but that's definitely not it. The Naruto Clash of Ninja games. Yeah, see, that those games I'm not, like, as familiar with, I guess, as far as, like, what the order of release was or what the differences might have been. Oh, so it was more traditional than like this sort of 3D arena thing. Oh, it's right there. God damn it. Can't believe I missed that. This is a tough stretch for oxygen for Luigi because his depletes faster than Mario's. But yeah, dude, I need you to get the motherfucking shell, dude. Like, I don't know. We're fine, but it's like... In my opinion, it should be positioned in such a way where you break the bricks and grab the shell in the same swoop. Maybe you can do that if you're not terrible, but it's apparently not me. Yeah, see, like, it's very forgiving there, but oh well. Also, what, these walls, like, collapse or something? I don't even know what happens if you miss one of these. Oh, I'm glad that didn't break the shell I was holding. That's good. Even though there's one out here anyway. Imagine having to get a golden shell through there without it breaking at all. That would kind of suck. No, none of that. I might have mentioned it during Galaxy 1, but I always forget that Captain Toad did originate here. And not in 3D World. Those are the games that started on GameCube, gotcha. Because I also know, like, the Ultimate Ninja games, aren't those different than the Ultimate Ninja Storm games as well? Beep-a-deep-beep. Shooba-dabba-doo-bum. Whoa. But does he have intel on a new star or not? Oh, that's fun. Technically, I should deposit all my star bits, but, like, how many is he really gonna collect, right? Not significant enough amount. So is that everything I can do besides comets? Like, these are all comets, this is complete, this is waiting for comets to spawn in. I don't think there's hidden stars here, I think these are just comets that haven't spawned in. Same with this. Probably. Yeah, like, these are all 2s. I think it's fun that the boss levels have comets in this game. Yeah, I think these are all just waiting on comets, probably. Most just have 2 standard stars. Although I guess... Yeah, no. This one has 3, but there's no comet. So, like, I think it's either you have a hidden star or a comet, maybe? Because I'm seeing, like, yeah, most of them are like, it's 3 total, unless you're like a gimmick level like this, or in this case, this is a Hungry Luma level, I think. Yeah, so, like, it's possible that there are some additional stars that I've missed, but I will clean those up as I go back to do the comets. I think for today, we'll go ahead and do Bowser's Galaxy Generator, which is the last Bowser level, from my understanding. Ultimate Ninja pretty much evolved into the Storm games. That makes sense. Makes sense. So, like, the Ultimate Ninja games were, like, kind of the PS2 equivalent, and then PS3 was when they stormed it up. They started storming all over the place. Does it have a Daredevil comet or some shit? I know there's a comet here, and I remember it being tough. Makes sense for the last boss level, but yeah. I mean, granted, look, like... I do prefer this game to Galaxy 1, I think, overall. But I do think, like, you know, Galaxy 1 does do a better job of, like, building up to the final showdown and stuff like that. And that's helped by the narrative elements. I just don't really, like, I don't find them a necessity, I guess. in a Mario game. Not that it's a necessity per se, but it's more, you know what I mean. Any sensible person understands what I'm getting at, I think. I hope. Even out for the Comet Medal. Cool. Oh, I'm very bad for that. I thought I could, like, jump. I thought I could jump the corner. Like that. But yeah, the intent... Or I guess really, like, the main way to do this is, like, drilling to each side, yeah. Is there a way to bail on this? I don't... No, because Shake does that. What are you supposed to... There must be, like, a different digging point that I can... Oh, it's this one. Okay. Duh. Thought I was gonna get hit there for a second. Because I was like, yeah, there's no way to, like, depower yourself, and there's no way they would force you to get hit. I would bet that the Comet Medal is here. Somewhere. I like how the extra 3 health, like, stacks on top and everything. That was always a satisfying thing. Wait a second. There's some coins up here. I don't think the Star Medal's up here, the Comet Medal. But... there's certainly something to that. This is more likely that it just requires the cloud. Yeah, like, that's not it. La Mao. Okay. I am, like, vaguely skeptical that the Comet Medal is up there somehow, but I'm also like, you can't even really get up here with clouds to spare, so I'm probably not. Could I have missed it? No, it's... No, you know what? I think it's... I keep saying this. I think it's up here, though. Like, seems familiar. An ass. Bruh. You fucking bitch. All the drums. Oh shit, balls. I wasn't trying to inhale the boomerang. I don't really care about that one-up. Anyway. Lit. I think there's like a mini auto-scroller up here. I'm dog shit. I think it's up on this... It's either during this pepper... Oh, yeah. Dude, I love the pepper. and I fucked it up so badly. We got Mr. Incredible. Not that that actually happens to him, but it almost does. Get out of here, Kamek. Go be an item in Mario Kart or some shit. Oh shit. Be clean. I'm bad. Yeah, there's not like a ton of room for error here. I mean, yeah, it kind of is. I just didn't start moving fast enough, kind of deal. Dude, I thought that would be a matter of, like, hitting him. Yeah, the Comet Medal is... I forget what side it's on. I think it's... Oh, yeah, it's over here with the little... whatever those are called, the little flowers that you swing on. Oh, right, this to avoid this guy. I don't know if I can take Yoshi into the fight, though. No, because you have to ground pound. That's right. Also, I have to bail on him here. He waves at you! Look at that! These are really like showdown streams. Yeah, I'm not opposed to the idea. I don't know. I haven't been like that. Like, I haven't really been playing much lately. I guess streaming would be a good excuse for that, though. Mega Shroom and hammers. Yeah, I think the Mega Shroom was in Wii, but the hammers are new. I think the Ice Flower's new as well. And yeah, like, they turned Kamek or Magic Koopa, whatever. Kamek is like a specific Magic Koopa, but... He was a racer in 8 Deluxe. Maybe in the Booster Course Pass? I don't remember. He was eventually added as a racer. But then they relegated him to an item in Worlds. And that's how you unlock the alternate costumes, too. From what I understand. Which is, or like, at least that's one way. Which, I don't know, that sounds like very tedious and kind of grindy. There's like a random element to it and stuff like that. Like, you have to get transformed randomly into whatever creature it is, something like that, I don't know. Oh shit. That was a quick punch, my guy. Oh my god. Alright, so I have to prep for, like, a punch pretty much immediately. And also I have to, like, get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up, get up. Yeah, the timing on this is, like, actually... You have to be, like, on... You have to be, like, on top of it, man. It's quite a step up from the second fight, for sure. Not that I'm complaining, it's just more, like, surprised. I think getting them in a straight line, because, like, you gotta, like, not get hit by the shockwave, too. Okay. Phase 2. Throw the fire breath back in there and stuff. I think it'd be fun if there was a mix between the way the Bowser fights play out in Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2. You know, because I like both variants. But it's like, man, if these were like different phases... What? I've never seen that before. So if you like hit his shell, that's kind of cool actually. Like if you hit his shell, it just kind of bounces off. I'm bad. I mean, this fight is definitely tougher than Galaxy 1's final fight. Which I think kind of falls into the category of like, wait, that's it? I'm really, wow. I don't think I've ever seen that. Usually I just outright miss, or I land it. I'm not used to like hitting the outer edge of his shell like that. Okay. I mean, at least here, I don't have to worry about him punching immediately after summoning the meteors and risking, like, him destroying them kind of deal. And I'm sure there's some way to position these, too, to where... I mean, like, that's a good way to do it. But, like, positioning his punch in such a way to where, like, you get the best angle at him. And so there's 8 million copies for nothing. That's fair. That's totally fair. But then again, you know, it's the same thing, too, where, like... It's like... I'm not saying Mario Kart World is a bad game, but there are examples of, like, bad games selling well. And then, like, people kind of learn their lesson sort of thing, or, like, they release in a broken state or whatever, right? Not that I'm saying Mario Kart World is that, but I mean, like... I'm sure it will continue to sell because it's Mario Kart, but it is one of those things where, like, I have seen quite a bit of criticism towards it from a lot of people. People are still enjoying it, I think. I'm not, you know, trying to diminish that aspect, I guess, but it's more just like... You know, a game can sell well, and then it's not what people expected, or it's not, like... as good as people expected or whatever, because ultimately it comes down to expectations, and then that, you know, burns them on potentially buying future DLC or a sequel or whatever kind of thing. Not saying that it's Mario Kart, like it's one of the most popular IP ever, but I don't know. I just think when you have a platform that also has 8 Deluxe, which is like the same kind of value proposition unless you're buying the bundle, I think it's hard to justify one or the other unless you really want to just drive around in free roam for some reason. Luigi's neck is looking a little angular. Oh, she puts her umbrella up. You can, like, barely see it. Nice. That's the thing, too. I mean, I know you know this, but it's like... You know, just because something is popular or sells a lot or, like, whatever, doesn't mean that it's immune to criticism either. You know? I guess the distinction is, like... I'm coming at it as someone who hasn't actually played it, which I usually try to avoid, but I'm mostly just saying this because it appears that my suspicions were correct about certain game design decisions. Whether or not that is a deal breaker to anybody or not, it's up to the individual, of course. But for me, it's like I had concerns, and then people that I trust in the industry basically like kind of confirmed those concerns as far as like what would appeal to me in a Mario Kart game, or like, you know, whatever. And so like it kind of like reinforces my stance of like not being in a rush to go get it. And even then, I was saying too that like yes, I like even as great as Bonanza looks, even that's not like a system seller. So like even if Mario Kart World looked amazing to me and like I had to play it or whatever, it's like it still wouldn't, that alone still would not be enough to warrant buying a whole system, in my opinion. For me, you know. But I think a lot of people who are buying the Switch 2 are also not just buying it for Mario Kart now, but are obviously buying it to have it for when the future system sellers come out, you know, because that will happen, undoubtedly. You know, there's going to be a new Metroid, of course, Prime 4. But, like, you know, there will be a new Metroid at some point. There will be, that's not the best example. There will be a new 3D Mario. There will be a new Zelda. There will be a new whatever, etc. and so on, right? New Fire Emblem, all that. Like, that'll happen. And it is likely that most of those will be Switch 2 exclusive. Sorry, I totally just ignored the dialogue. But I think we'll have to play through this level again. Towards the end anyway. Probably, because I think there's going to be a comet. And, like, I don't know if it's similar to Galaxy 1 where you, like, have to play through the standard level again or not. I don't know. Daredevil Comet would be pretty devious, though. I don't think that's a thing. Maybe it's, like, speed or purple coins. I feel like it might be purple coins and then it ends at the top of that flagpole. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, I guess we're sitting at, what, 78 stars? So nearly, like, 2/3 of the way through the standard 120. Good progress, you know? Of course, World 7's gonna open up. Oh, you can actually do something during the credits. That's right. That's always fun. Oh, no shake, though, because we don't have our little Luma friend. That's right. I'm trying to jump on Lubba's head, but I can't seem to figure it out perspective-wise. So I guess this is supposed to be us, like, kind of venturing backwards kind of deal. Yoshi! Oh, shit. we get to keep Yoshi sick. Although infinite long jumping around here seems like it would be fun. But yeah. Oh, that's fun. But yeah, next time the plan will be to do... I don't know if I'll guarantee do like all the comets, because, you know, there's still 42 stars left. But, you know, at least try to do most of the comet levels, kind of clear up the early levels. And then maybe the finale, at least until I do green stars at a later date, would be doing World 7, but it's possible not all the comets will spawn in until I get the comet medals in 7, so maybe I should do that first? I don't know. I mean, I can go back and do... It'd be kind of fun to do the comets, like, in order, though. There's not one for every galaxy, but, like, to be able to go through and just, like, here's the comets in the first world.
Thank you for playing my game.
Here's the World 2 comets, you know, and, like, just kind of check them off the list as we go. So if not all of them has spawned in, then maybe, yeah, it would be worth getting the comet medals first. Real quick, I'm gonna jump into my first file to see what my starbit count is at. Oh yeah, because on this file the green stars are spawned in. Only 144. I mean, it's worth sending these over, I guess. And I guess from doing the green stars, you would end up banking, you'd end up banking more starbits, like, per playthrough. But, you know, you spend most of what you've collected on the Hungry Lumas, so... The World S, because everyone knows that S comes after 8. That's, kind of cursed. Huh, what? Looks like you got a letter from Luigi. Yeah, but I think that's a good stopping point for today. We can pop into the world map real quick. And just see what's up. Yeah, like, got all the comet medals. Yeah, because there's a good number of comets that haven't spawned in yet. Like, there's 2 here, 1 here, 3 here, a bunch here, 4? Yeah, so I don't know if it makes sense to do, like, comet... You can do all the comets here, which is interesting. But yeah, this will be what we... Well, I might have to go back and get, like, more stars as we go, too. To even, like, unlock these barricades. And, of course, 2,000 on this guy. Like, yeah, 110. 75, so we can fulfill the first one. But, like, even just doing this would be, like... I don't know if this is, like, a 2-star one or whatever. But, like, it won't be enough to get us probably to the next blockade, which is, like, what, probably somewhere between 85 and 90? But I do think, like, going for more comet medals would make sense first? I don't know, I'll think about it, and then we'll determine what to do next time. Because, like, maybe just going back and doing whatever comets have spawned in would be better. But maybe, yeah, maybe I just do as much here as I can before having to go back.